So we've got some big news on the Android side of things over the past day or so. The Samsung Galaxy Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus have been confirmed. Yes, it's the Note 10 Plus, not the Pro, as was previously speculated, and I'm pretty excited. Now, I don't typically cover news on this channel. I usually leave that to the bigger guys. But tech is crazy expensive to keep buying for the purpose of reviews, so I figured I'd give this video format a shot, and I really hope you guys like it, because if not, I'm gonna go broke buying new tech. So if you do want to see more of this bleeding edge tech stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you guys like this video and left a comment down below to let me know. So yesterday, the press invite for Samsung's Unpacked event was sent out to the media. It features the new S Pen that draws out a circle and fades into a camera. There's a couple of important things to take away from this. If you've been following the leaks, you'll know that there are quite a few photos flying around of the Note 10 featuring a display with a front-facing cutout in the center of the glass instead of on the right, which is where they are in the S10 lineup. Given that the S Pen in the invite seems to be drawing a cutout that's aligned with the center of the pen, it's fairly likely that the leaks of the Note 10 are accurate, at least for the front side of the phone. I'm actually not a huge fan of the cutout design. I don't really like it on the S10 lineup, and I think it'll probably be even more intrusive here given that it's right in the center of the phone, but at least it beats out the notches on the iPhones and Pixel 3s. Personally, I think the outgoing Note 9 with a slightly thicker forehead and chin had a better look to it, but I could be alone in thinking that. Maybe it's just me. The Note 10 is rumored to have a huge curved AMOLED 6.4-inch display, and the Note 10 Plus will have an even huger 6.8-inch display with support for HDR10+. As you can see from these leaked renders, it looks like the rear of the phone is going to feature up to 4 cameras, with the fourth being a time-of-flight depth sensing one. Notice that they're aligned vertically rather than the horizontal versions on the S10 lineup. Given that there's no fingerprint reader in any of these leaks, I'm guessing that it's probably going to have the in-display fingerprint reader like is on the S10s as well. Now, here's where it gets a bit interesting design-wise. I don't want to instill panic because these aren't confirmed yet, but there's a lot of leaks out there that imply that the Note 10 and 10 Plus will not have a headphone jack. This one posted on Twitter seems to be a case render leak, and though it does have an IR blaster for some reason, it doesn't have a spot for a headphone jack, which in my books is a huge no-no still. Don't get me wrong, I love my wireless headphones, but when they die, the 3.5mm headphone jack still has a warm place in my heart. However, there are still sources that suggest otherwise. Max Weinbach on Twitter says that his source got to play with the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus, and that both those models had headphone jacks. So there's still some hope yet. He also goes on to say that the non-Pro or non-Plus version won't have a micro SD card slot though, which does suck, but it sucks less than not having a headphone jack, IMHO. It's a bit weird how he calls it the Pro version here, given that his source apparently had his hands on the model, but from what we do know about the renders is that there's just Samsung branding on the back with no indication that it's a Note device. So it's possible that the source wasn't allowed to turn on the Note 10 and therefore couldn't verify that it was actually called the Note 10 Plus and not the Note 10 Pro. Some leaks also show that there won't be a Bixby button on the Note 10 and 10 Plus, so maybe Samsung finally gave up on trying to push Bixby as a viable assistant. Who knows? I actually don't know of anybody that actually enjoys using her anyway, so good for them, I guess. In terms of specs, it's wildly speculated that the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus will have the latest and greatest Snapdragon 855 or Exynos 9820, depending on where you live, and up to 12 gigabytes of RAM, probably reserved for the larger Plus model. It's set to start at 128 gigabytes of storage and go all the way up to a terabyte for all you mad lads with a huge amount of money to spend. Either way, like its predecessor, both the Note 10 and 10 Plus are going to be powerhouses. If all these leaks and rumors are true, the Note 10s could be a couple of really great phones. But if the headphone jack turns out to be a lie and there's no micro SD card slot, well, you might want to take a harder look at the S10 lineup or even the Note 9, which, as I stated in my 2019 review of it, it's still an outstanding device now that you can get it for much cheaper than when it launched. I'll have that review linked in a card above if you're interested in checking it out further. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to support my channel, and as always, have a great day.